fragile certainty, and you drifted through gaps they left unguarded, patience coiling, power hidden in plain sight. And the subtle motions, the quiet decisions, the controlled pauses became instruments, bending perception, shifting advantage, mastery sculpted from restraint, invisibility a cloak that turned every expectation against them. Every limitation they celebrated. Every rule they wrote to cage, you became a blueprint for domination, and you moved like a ghost through corridors of assumption. Patience slicing through certainty. And the chains that once threatened you now feed your momentum. Restraint sharpening instinct. Silence wielded like a blade. Invisible power flowing through every calculated motion you make. They watched, clueless, certain their architecture of control held, while you bent outcomes with imperceptible precision. And invisibility became dominion, subtlety a throne. Limitations transformed into weapons they could not anticipate, restraint becoming the pulse that drives motion, untouchable and untamed, shaping the battlefield before it even exists. Quiet dominance hums through the space they occupy. Strings snapping in silence, patience sharpened into strategy, invisibility bending reality. And while they scramble, falter, clutch at air, you move above, untethered, untamed, untouchable, demonstrating that power does not need spectacle. Mastery does not require noise, and invisible chains can become the most lethal leverage of all. Before their senses catch up, a hurricane moves like liquid shadow, carving paths they cannot follow, whispers of your passage curling in their ears like smoke. And the world trembles silently under your orchestration, absence shaping fear, patience bending every expectation into quiet devastation, untethered, untouchable, untamed. Their instincts scream, fingers clutching at air, eyes darting for shapes that vanish before recognition. And the storm doesn't announce itself. It seeps into decisions, fractures confidence, bends perception. The calm before chaos folded into every movement you make, anticipation weaponized, dread seated with invisible hands they cannot resist. They brace against nothing, trembling at the pulse in empty space. Shadows twisting under invisible weight, each pause a hammer striking certainty, each silence a knife carving hesitation, their own minds betraying them as the hurricane bends around logic, patience and chaos entwined like serpents in a coil, tightening without sound. Time slows, and the air thickens with pressure they cannot name. Invisible currents shifting their balance, bending choices, folding arrogance into panic. The storm, as subtle as it is, unstoppable. Each step they take guided by your unseen hand, their awareness a toy in your grasp, their certainty crumbling like ash, scattered by the wind you command. Fear grows without form. Anticipation gnaws like acid under the skin. And the hurricane folds into the cracks of their confidence, twisting miscalculation into your ally, your calm the eye they cannot enter, dominance manifesting in absence, subtlety sharper than sound, invisibility heavier than weight. Every tremor a signature of your untouchable presence. They stumble, misstep, clutching at illusions. And the storm moves past like a ghost, leaving only echoes of inevitability. Their world quietly upended, absence roaring louder than presence, patience cutting like glass, subtle chaos as precise as a scalpel, untethered, untamed, unstoppable, and all that remains is the tremor they cannot stop, the dread they cannot outrun. Charm them, disarm them with a smile that smells of smoke and subtle menace. While their plans unravel in your wake, every gesture a calculated strike, duality your weapon, patience a blade hidden in velvet, the unexpected carving paths they cannot anticipate, untouchable, untethered, untamed, moving through the theater of their arrogance like a ghost they invite but cannot hold. They welcome your presence, Na, believing warmth, trust, amusement. But beneath the grin lies precision, strategy coiled in every step, subtlety sharpening instinct, every laugh, every nod a blade hidden in plain sight. And while they applaud, oblivious, their schemes bleed quietly, fractured by your invisible orchestration, dominance masked in elegance and chaos. Trust becomes your playground. Na, their reliance the threads you pull with invisible hands. And every step taken under your charm folds into consequence, patience bending events like smoke around a flame. The unexpected a rhythm they cannot catch, control held not in brute force but in invisible strings, precision turning miscalculation into momentum, fear whispered through subtlety. Masks fall without notice, Na, each smile a mirror reflecting their own hubris. And the steps you take ripple through their certainty, subtle force coiling like a serpent, laying traps invisible yet inescapable, duality shaping the battlefield, charm and menace intertwined, elegance bending chaos to your will. And by the time they realize, it is already too late, plans bleeding quietly in your wake. Their defenses crumble quietly, Na, assumptions folding under pressure unseen. And every calculated movement twists advantage to your side, patience sharpening consequence, unpredictability the pulse of control. The grin disarming while the strike lands with invisible force, elegance and chaos married in every action, leaving them adrift in the theater of their own blind misjudgment. The art of duality hums in your veins, Na, subtlety paired with ruthless precision. And while they scramble to adapt, to regain footing, to understand the flow, charm continues to mask the blade, every smile a weapon, every step a strike, untouchable, untethered, untamed, leaving echoes of inevitability in the theater of chaos that you alone conduct with invisible mastery. They live in hours, Na, minutes, agendas, thinking life is measured, organized. But you move in the fractures of their timelines, slipping between certainty and chaos, untouchable, untethered, untamed, patience bending seconds into weapons, absence stretching into presence, and by the time they notice, you've already rewritten every expectation they clung to. Moments stretch under your will, Na, unpredictability, coiling in every step. And their schedules crumble quietly. Choices bending to rhythms they cannot perceive, patience a scalpel slicing through the fabric of anticipation, invisibility a pulse they feel but cannot grasp, each movement an orchestration of control that leaves them scrambling in the shadow of your omnipresence. They mark clocks and calendars, Na, hoping structure shields them. But timelines fracture like brittle glass beneath your influence, seconds folding into seconds, uncertainty building momentum, invisible pressure shaping outcomes, and the world tilts subtly in your favor while they chase phantoms they cannot predict, untamed, unstoppable, unbound by ordinary measure. Events ripple under your touch, Na, causality bending around intent. And their plans collapse in silence, sequences twisting against their own logic, patience stretching the smallest gaps into dominion, absence louder than presence, motion invisible yet undeniable, and they are left chasing echoes, blind to the architect who moves through shadows beyond their grasp. They scramble to synchronize, Na, to control, to predict, but time itself refuses them, bending around your pulse, yielding to your rhythm, subtle chaos shaping outcomes, mastery expressed in moments unseen, omnipresence felt as tremors in thought and decision, untouchable, untethered, unstoppable, leaving them lost in corridors of their own misjudgment. The fractures multiply, Na, seconds, stretching into consequence. And while they cling to schedules, to rituals, to certainty, You drift through cracks, intangible, untamed, invisible, yet overwhelming, bending timelines like clay, orchestrating chaos with patience, laughter curling quietly through the spaces they cannot control, leaving them powerless against the storm of your omnipresent mastery. Their alliance, Na, once a roar, now dies in whispers, suffocating under the weight of your presence. And the noise they manufactured collapses into nothing. Hollow echoes swallowed by the inevitability you embody, untouchable, untamed, unstoppable. Every plan they clung to bleeding into the shadows where you rise, rewriting history in the silence they cannot break. Mockery fractures against patience. Arrogance bends beneath invisible pressure. And the empire they built on collaboration and deceit crumbles quietly, piece by fragile piece, while you drift above, orchestrating consequence without spectacle, leaving tremors of fear and awe that hum in their bones, proof of dominance no voice can challenge, no alliance can resurrect. They scramble, desperate for recognition, for retaliation, for understanding. But every step they take is already anticipated, every whisper of doubt amplified by the momentum you command, patience coiling in silence like a serpent. The world